The marketplace of Stellaris Station hummed with 1,000 different species conducting their daily commerce. Henry weaved through the crowd, his human frame small compared to the towering Kryn merchants and broad-shouldered Vorthians. He clutched his datapad tightly, running errands for the shipping company that had hired him 3 months ago. Desperate work for desperate wages, but it kept him fed. That's when he heard the cry. High-pitched and terrified, it cut through the market's din like a blade through silk. Henry's head snapped toward the sound. In the shadow between 2 vendor stalls, 3 armed Kresh surrounded something small and golden. The reptilian thugs, known throughout the sector for their cruelty, had cornered what appeared to be a child. Not just any child, a dragon child. Henry had never seen one in person, only in holovids and historical archives. The youngling couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 in human years, its scales shimmering like molten gold, its wings, barely developed, pressed flat against its trembling body. The Kresh leader raised a plasma blade, laughing as the child whimpered. Every instinct screamed at Henry to walk away. The Kresh were dangerous. The dragons were a myth, a legend, supposedly extinct for centuries. This wasn't his problem. But Sarah's voice echoed in his memory. His sister, dead now for 2 years, killed in a station collapse because no one had stopped to help when the alarms first sounded. "Someone has to be brave, Henry," she'd told him once. "Someone has to choose to care." Henry dropped his datapad and ran forward. "Hey, leave the kid alone." The Kresh turned, their 3 eyes narrowing at the audacious human. The leader, a scarred brute named Vexthor, grinned, revealing rows of serrated teeth. "Human, this is not your concern. Walk away or bleed." "Can't do that," Henry said, positioning himself between the Kresh and the dragon child. His heart hammered against his ribs. He had no weapons, no training, nothing but his own stubborn humanity. Vexthor's grin widened. "So be it." The first blade took him in the shoulder. Henry gasped, stumbling but refusing to fall. The second caught his side, sending white-hot pain lancing through his torso. Still, he spread his arms wider, blocking access to the child. "Run!" he choked out to the youngling. "Go!" The third blade pierced his thigh, the fourth his abdomen. Henry collapsed to his knees, blood pooling beneath him. Through dimming vision, he saw the dragon child hadn't moved. Frozen in terror or shock, those ancient golden eyes locked on him. The 5th blade was meant to be final. Vexthor raised it high, aiming for Henry's heart. It never landed. A roar shattered the air, primal, furious, and absolutely terrifying. Something massive and terrible descended from above, scales gleaming like rubies in the station's artificial light. An adult dragon, easily 20 meters long, crashed into the marketplace with the force of a meteor. The Kresh scattered like leaves in a hurricane, Vexthor's blade clattering uselessly to the ground. Henry's vision faded to black, Sarah's voice the last thing he heard. Someone has to be brave. When Henry woke, he expected death. Instead, he found himself staring at a ceiling of living crystal that pulsed with soft, golden light. He was lying on something impossibly soft, and, he checked himself in disbelief, completely healed. No wounds, no scars, nothing but smooth skin where the blades had penetrated. The human wakes. Henry turned his head. Standing beside his bed was a figure unlike anything he'd ever imagined. Humanoid but clearly draconic, with scales of deep emerald, eyes that glowed like stars, and an aura of power that made the air itself seem to bow in reverence. "Where am I?" Henry's voice came out as a whisper. "The kingdom of eternal flame," the dragon being replied. "I am Commander Xeranthus of the Guardian Order. You, human, have done something extraordinary." More figures emerged from the shadows, warriors clad in armor that seemed forged from starlight and dragon fire, each bearing weapons that hummed with barely contained power. The dragon child from the marketplace stepped forward, now clean and dressed in fine robes, its golden scales shimmering. "You took 5 blades meant for Princess Lyria," Xeranthus continued, gesturing to the child. "The last daughter of the Dragon Emperor. She was lost during a diplomatic mission, taken by slavers. We had searched for months." Henry struggled to sit up. I couldn't let them hurt a kid." A ripple of something passed through the assembled guardians. Surprise, perhaps, or respect. Xeranthus knelt beside Henry's bed, bringing those ancient eyes level with his. "For 10,000 years, the Guardian Order has protected the Dragon Kingdom. We are chosen from the finest warriors across 100 worlds, beings of exceptional strength, courage, and honor." He paused. "But we have never chosen a human. Your species was thought too fragile, too short-lived, too—" He searched for the word, "soft." "So why am I here?" Henry asked. Princess Lyria stepped forward, her small hand taking Henry's. When she spoke, her voice resonated with a power far beyond her years. "Because you proved something the galaxy had forgotten. Humans may be fragile, but your courage is not. Your compassion is not. You chose to die for someone you didn't know, expecting nothing in return." She squeezed his hand. "That is the truest mark of a guardian." Xeranthus stood, drawing a blade that shimmered with rainbow fire. "Henry of Earth, the Guardian Order extends to you an offer never before given to your kind. Will you stand among us? Will you train in our ways, wield our weapons, and protect those who cannot protect themselves?" Henry thought of Sarah, of the choice she would have made. He looked at the small dragon child whose life he'd saved, at the legendary warriors surrounding him, at the impossible opportunity before him. He'd been running errands on a space station 12 hours ago. Now he was being offered a place among legends. "Someone has to be brave," he said softly, then louder. "I accept." The Guardians struck their weapons against the crystal floor in unison, a sound like thunder and music combined. Xeranthus smiled, a fearsome expression on a dragon's face, and extended his hand. "Welcome, Guardian Henry. Your training begins at dawn. I hope you're ready to prove that humanity belongs among the star's greatest protectors." As Henry took the commander's hand and stood, he felt something shift inside him, not just in body, but in purpose. He'd saved one life in a marketplace. Now he would spend his days saving countless more. The Dragon Kingdom had gained its first human guardian. The galaxy would never be quite the same.